Okay, so this is a question from Julie. Says, I have a weird question. I like those. Since I'm in recovery and I'm doing pretty well, I'm so emotional because my thoughts are not constantly revolving around food. I have so much more time to think, overthink, and I feel all of my emotions so much more intensely. Mostly sad ones, unfortunately. Did you experience this as well? And is this common? Yes, and yes. I wrote about it actually. If you look on my website, there's a blog and it's called Mid-Recovery Clusterfuck, and it's basically what this is about. Most of us, when we have an eating disorder, we don't feel the same emotional responses as normal people do. I just think it's mostly because your brain's just like, dude, we're in a famine. Like, you have not got any time to be worrying about like social stuff and getting all upset about this, that, and the other. You just got to focus, okay? You got to focus on getting the fuck out of this famine. And so that's what our brains do. We focus on things like compulsive exercise and restriction. Or if you don't have compulsive exercise, you just have restriction. And a lot of the time we focus on a ton of OCD stuff as well. And your brain's just like, this is what you got to focus on right now, all right? Don't worry about all that fluffy stuff. Don't worry about it. Get on with this. So a lot of people sort of think we're a bit cold and unemotional. Some of us are. And even those of us that aren't cold and unemotional, I don't know, our emotional responses are just a little bit subdued a lot of the time. I know that I would often feel like I was just watching my life through a grass screen, and something awful would happen. I'd be like, oh well. And then started eating, didn't I? And then I had a lot of emotion stuff, and a lot of it was due to stuff in the past that I had not felt at all upset about, and then I suddenly did feel upset about. Some of it was like stuff that was 5 years ago, and part of me would be thinking, why am I upset about this now? It hasn't bothered me for 5 years, and now I'm upset about it? That's odd. Things like missing my best friend's wedding because I didn't go to her wedding because I didn't want to miss a spin class. Of course, at the time, that didn't bother me. And then 5 years on, or however long it was, when I go through recovery and I start actually, I don't know, being a bit more of a normal person, I was just like, that's fucking awful. I can't believe I did that. That's so mean. And I'm really sad that I didn't go to her wedding. I missed out. I got like massive FOMO 5 years later. Didn't feel FOMO at the time. I would have felt FOMO about missing the spin class. I mean, how sad is that? But that's just the truth. And so that's what happens. That's why I call it mid-recovery clusterfuck, because it is a bit of a clusterfuck and you don't really know what's going on. You just feel very emotional, want to cry all the time. And then also, it's not just the past stuff. Some of the emotional stuff I noticed was very present. Like, I was watching TV once and this advert came on. I don't know, it was probably an life insurance advert. And I'm sitting there crying. And part of me is like, I never cry at stuff. Why am I crying? It's an advert. Stop it. But I couldn't stop it. I just found it really sad. So yeah, there's that. But it's good news. It really is, Julie, because it means that you've broken through the barrier, the line, which is just that sort of indicates you're marginally less fucked up than you were before. So that's a good thing. What I mean by that is like, you're actually at the point where you're starting to have emotions back. Really good thing. It just means that you're moving up the steps of recovery, getting back towards being an actual functionally, fully feeling human being. And having feelings isn't always fun, but at least it's real. At least you're alive, right? So I knew that at the time as well. So I'd be having all of these weird, upsetting emotional reactions, lots of guilt. At the same time as I was sort of, things like guilt and sadness aren't fun, but part of me was still like, this is really cool. I'm actually like experiencing things. It was novel. I'd be like, I actually feel sad. It's kind of cool. Yeah. It'll even out, don't you worry. The clusterfuck will unfuck itself as you move through recovery, and then you'll just be as normally messed up as the rest of us. And I do still cry at stuff on TV. I think I was watching This Farming Life and I cried when the sheepdog won a sheepdog trial. He was such a good boy.